Alright, and hello everyone. Welcome to USFC 171. Little bit late, 2 minutes late or so, but it's not a big deal. We'll get started ASAP. I'm gonna start with a banger here. Luck against Oaken Licks. Yeah, I just put it in caps because that's how it was before. Oh, Oak can't fight. Alright, never mind. I just saw that. Okay, we're gonna do the next fight over then. Apostle versus Info. Yes, I see that a beer. You don't have to ping me again. All good. I suppose while we wait for the other folks to join, I'll enter the commentator cabin. If anybody wants to join, feel free as well. Not mandatory, but this will be a pretty long USFC, so it'd still be appreciated. Info's already here, that's good. Because this is a fairly long USFC, please do try to show up to your matches. Don't delay if at all possible. Oak let me know right away, so always good with that. But if there is some kind of issue, let me know as soon as you can. We're gonna wait for Apostle here, and if Apostle doesn't show up, Info, I guess we'll get to fight BK later. I curate these matchups as specifically as I could so that players would all be fighting people roughly of their skill level, so I'd rather not scramble them up too much if I can avoid it. Although making Info wait so long would kind of suck. We can pull the fight back a little bit. Or we could even just do it right now if Apostle is not around. I know BK is around, so maybe that makes more sense. Just get rid of this question mark row here, get Info to fight BK, and then Apostle will be pushed to the back of the line. I think we'll do it that way, but I'll give Apostle plenty of time to join first. Okay, Info still around. I'll give her keyboard as well while we wait. Um, you're around, right, BK? Do you want to just fight Info right now? Because I'm not even hearing anything from Apostle. I think we're gonna do it like that. And then BK can just take the left in Apostle's place. Because BK is here, he's here pretty much right away. And he doesn't have somebody to fight for a while, so I think we'll just do that. And I think Insigny then, what we'll do with you is we'll have you fight British Turk. Okay. And we'll put Apostle right here. If he's around, he'll get a fight with somebody else, but I think this is how we'll do it. Alright, let me know if you guys need keyboard. We're gonna get started right away now. Sorry for the little hiccup at the beginning. Alright, but you're not in right now, Michinik. You're in a little while. Okay, let's go. Let's see. I don't know why this keeps changing. I put it on never every single time and it switches right back. Anyway, if you need keyboard BK, let me know. Otherwise, you're on the left side. Info will take the right. We're on Hellish Quart, yeah. Keyboard, cool. Go ahead and select now. Make sure you click the window as well. That can help. Okay, info on the right. Cool. They're both in. Now, info unsurprisingly goes with her main, Marie. I believe BK went with Yon, which is his main. I didn't quite see that. I was looking down. Yep, he went with Yon. No surprise there. Thrust attempt by info. BK does deflect it. Yeah, he's good to go. Looks like he's playing a little cautiously right now. Respecting the rapier, which can be helpful against Marie, but you obviously at some point do need to close in, as he does there. He gets blade contact first and then stabs, using the curved tip of that saber to get at the arm. Jan is very good at that. There's a stab to the head there. Oak will be ready right after this block, so be ready as well, if you're listening. Good stab to the body by info. Maria is quite a powerhouse now. She's not overpowered by any stretch of the imagination, but she can basically take anybody on in skilled hands now, so it's really nice to see. BK might not be used to this Maria as he has been away for a bit. Cuts by info. BK does not respond with a cut to the head, so he is hit several times and taken out. Yeah, wide cut there by BK. He didn't get blade contact first, which is very important with this new Marie, so he is instantly punished. Triangle there. BK does not seize the opportunity to punish that in time. He was a little bit slow there, resulting in a trade instead of a clean hit. That's why Info wanted to make sure he was good to go. It was a little bit of a slow reaction. A cut there, not able to beat the blade. Apparently there's no game volume. That's a little strange. Let me fix that. Don't know why it keeps switching to default. That's probably what's going on. There, you should be able to hear that now. Go ahead. Nice use of the low guard there to hide the range a little bit and then come up to the hand there. Very powerful stab now with for Marie. We've seen that used quite a bit. Wiggle thrust there. And BK is really struggling to get anything going. He doesn't respond in time with a cut to the head. It's a very easy way to punish a cut to the leg is simply to go straight to the head. And that will be a trade, especially a favorable trade against a rapier like that. But you gotta respond in time. Yeah, Marie's head is wide open when she goes for that leg cut, and she basically gets rid of any control of the center, so you gotta be assertive. You gotta use the fact that you're better up close with the saber to your advantage. If you're fighting from range too much, the rapier's gonna win. Tries to stab there, a little bit out of measure of that cut, and the stab is deflected both by the rapier and the hand protection, so Info takes it 7-2 for the first round. Very decisive win. Nice to see the hand protection actually doing its job too. It further deflected the weapon. That's a new update that was made to the game. You gotta actually mind the hand protection of your opponent now. Before it was a thing, but it wasn't as much of a thing as it is now. Info on the left now. Okay, so Apostle is here now. He thought his fight was second in a row. Yeah, that's why you gotta be ready, because sometimes we have to delay or we have to move to the next fight, so. But it's all good. Apostle will fight British Turk, I guess. That's really the only slot we have available for him now. So, that's what we'll do. Because Turk needs somebody to fight. Good stab down low. Looks like BK is starting to make something work with Jan, with 2 back-to-back flags this round. Nice stab by Info. Single tempo. And I would say a lot of the trouble BK is running into is move choice as well. He's going with the stab, which is fine, but definitely needs to change it up a little bit. Use some tighter movements to displace the rapier before closing in. Or even better, displace the rapier and hit the head in one go. Info getting tired from having the blade bashed, I guess, but nice sidestep as BK moved right into it. Dash thrust there, very risky move, but nice way to get an early kill. BK says, I can also dash thrust, and we see it there. A little bit slow, but that goes to show the value of slow moves sometimes. The timing can really throw people off. Tries to go for it again, and there we go. This time he interrupts the low cuts with a cut of his own. And although he did take some damage to his leg, he's now limping, which really sucks. It at least was a much better outcome than it could have been. It's really what you need to do. You just gotta out-trade the rapier when that happens. And a stab to the arm by Info. But BK is actually still ahead despite that. There you go. He needs to make it messy like that. As soon as that happens, the Saber is gonna win pretty much every time. That still remains the case even with Marie's buffs. Trying to long guard there, but he got too close. And that's the other thing you gotta keep in mind with long guard is it is not something that will always block the stab, because it's just like auto guard with cuts. It will not always work. Your positioning and the type of bind that you get matters a lot. Marie can sometimes force an overbind now, and she will land an attack that way if she's close enough. So you gotta watch your positioning, how her blade is positioned. And I'm not saying it's super complicated or a perfect system or anything like that. It's quite simplistic, really, but there is a bit of physics at play every time the blades interact like that. That will determine whether or not the stab can be tracked by the magnetism of the long guard or not. Yeah, but the key is maintaining that contact in a favorable position like that. BK's backing up. I don't know what's happening. He's not stopping, so something looks wrong there. Okay, let's see what's going on. I'll look on my phone. Yeah, it's a big USFC. I'm glad I actually was able to find time to host the whole thing. It would have been a big task if other people had to host in my stead. For those who don't know, I did put out like a PSA that I would have to like attend some meeting for like the early, like the first hour or so of USFC. But it turns out my meeting was rescheduled to this evening my time, so we're actually doing great. As far as time, I can host the whole time and it's not a big deal. So nobody needs to step in, although if a European host is available for some players and that is requested, that would be nice to have, but not mandatory. I know Turk is usually available for that, although it is a long card, so I don't know if he's available the whole time. Nice, Turk is here. And is available for players who are having trouble. It is 1-1 at this point, and the score is not accurate. Something funny happens when you switch sides. Unfortunately, it no longer accurately tracks the score in the game, but as you can pretty plainly see, Jan won the second time, so it is 1-1. Nice. It looks like BK has figured it out. It definitely takes some adjusting to the new Marie, but once you make that adjustment, she still has many of the same weaknesses, even if she's able to compensate for them a lot better. The rapier is still not really rocket science to deal with, I don't think, as far as the simple concepts go. Now, a really good Marie player will still make it very complicated by getting aggressive out of nowhere. Maybe getting some grabs and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's up to you as the saber to close in on that rapier. Yeah, but if you overdo it, you can immediately get punished like that. That was really good offense by Info to get a flag, and actually the first flag this round, which goes to show how well BK has adjusted. There's a nice double lunge. Well, actually, it was the first lunge in the double lunge. Did not do the second one, which is a common tactic with Marie, is to not throw the second lunge. That first lunge very often will kill on its own if it's timed right. Good sidestep there, trying to hit the arm, but nice angle picked with that cut, so it does force a trade that is in favor of BK. That could have easily been a double, though. Jabs by Info, that wide cut, just not quick enough to seal the deal, but I think it would have actually combined with the other hits. BK is looking tired as well. trying to go with minimalistic moves here or there. Corkscrew attempt, as I say that, which is kind of funny, but not quite able to connect. There's a stab from BK, but he is beaten to the punch. The other thing is the rapier is a straight blade, so because your blade is curved, depending on what angle you're picking to stab, you might take longer to get to the target than you might think, compared to just a straight line. That's a double. You especially notice that with Hassan's stabs, his blade is pretty steeply curved, so he really struggles to reach the target in a reasonable amount of time sometimes. Depending on the angle he picks. If he picks the right angle, it'll come right around and try to hit you, but... Info is starting to make a comeback. A victory here will be very important, I think, for BK, getting his morale up after the initial struggles against Info's Marie. Stab attempt. Beats the blade. But BK cannot walk normally. He's limping at the moment, so it's actually really difficult for him to close the distance. And Info is playing this how you should, as the rapier player, poking and prodding from range until BK runs out of gas. But this time it's a double. Support for Info in the chat there as Info gets another flag. This could be a really nice comeback. This is going to be a very important round. Will Info regain some confidence from this comeback, or will BK solidify his advantages and manage to make it 2-1 for him? And we're seeing quite a few doubles right now as they both see an opening to just end the fight, but as a result, they both take it. And it's a double. That's often what happens. You're not trying to be suicidal, it's just you're taking the opportunity that you're given as soon as you can to end the fight, especially for BK. That's probably pretty important, and he does get it eventually, that nice corkscrew, getting right around the rapier there. Taking advantage of that curved blade. And BK needs one more to secure his win. Yep, same character, no surprise there. Dashes into that stab, nice opening for Info. Cannot allow BK to win another one though. Nice, this time he's able to parry the cut with a low thrust, using the hand protection, and there's a bit of an exchange. However, having taken that hit to the leg, BK is limping. They both go for low stabs, they both have a B cancel stab. Info's is a little bit longer range. Yeah, BK had to go with a chop to the head or something that would have just ended it right there. But often he's caught off guard by the leg cut, so he doesn't respond with a cut to the head in time. Thrust there, trading with the leg cut, but it takes out the mobility, so again, it might actually have some value for Info, and there it is. Nice thrust. And actually, this would be a decisive win for Info here. Ooh, trying to get a grab finish for style, but got a little bit punished for that. A bit of a trade. And a nice parry of the corkscrew. So Info takes it 2-2 now. This one is down to the wire. Good exchange of attacks there. Just out of measure though, wide swing, immediately punished. There are certain moves that BK could use, like the chop. But he's not using them, so I think that's part of the problem that he's having. Double. And we actually saw earlier, he tried to walk forward with long guard mindlessly, but he didn't present a threat in time, so Info was able to get a superior bind and stab the hand. Any character can do that, by the way. It's not a Marie only thing. It's just that Marie is a bit better at it now because Kubel buffed her. So she's actually threatening if you mindlessly just long guard and walk forward. Before that used to be very simple to pull off, but not so simple now. Long guard is still your friend, but you want to use it intelligently. Thrust attempt. And to the face actually, but no kill. Must be very close to getting a kill after that. Leg cuts there, and BK is not ready for them. Again, does not respond with a cut to the head or a leg void. So Info takes advantage of that. Thrust attempt there. More of a push cut and a double. Info still ahead. Info looking to win this whole fight here. It should be pretty nice against a Yon, who's traditionally considered the better rapier. Nice. Just walks forward, makes it messy. That's really what you gotta do, but you also have to respect the fact that the rapier can kill you pretty quickly if you're mindlessly closing in. There's a balance to be achieved there. Thrust attempt, another thrust into a cut, and punishes the back Y, a bit too wide. Again, BK needs to pick tighter swings that make contact with the rapier and, hit the head ASAP. He's not using those moves, and so he's running into some trouble. The stab is a good move to have in your repertoire, but you don't want to rely too much on it. And dashing leaves you wide open. Info capitalizing on that right away. Punch. Almost able to get it there. If he did a forward Y, he would have had it. But BK is not ready for the grab. Info finishing for grab and styling on him. Very close match, actually, all things considered with the score. But Info was able to take it. Now we have luck against Oak. This is one I'm very excited for. Maria is pretty beatable though. You gotta use your long guard, you gotta chop to the head. A lot of people aren't used to doing that. They're still throwing wide swings, they're throwing the wrong moves at the wrong time. And so Info's doing a good job of capitalizing on that. Stuff like that would have worked before because Marie was weak, but now it's not so simple. You can't play the game selfishly against a character like Marie. You have to recognize that your opponent wants something very specific, and you have to interpose your blade and say, I'm not going to let that happen. You can't say, well, I want to cut, so I'm going to throw a wide cut and see what happens. That's not going to work. It's like playing chess. You can't play chess like that either. Luck on the left, oak on the right. But now people are getting a taste of what Marie used to be back when she was good, so it'll be interesting to see how the meta evolves to counter that. Okay, Sam against Isabella. Traditionally, Samuel is a character that Isabella can struggle against, but I'm sure this is a matchup Luck is not unfamiliar with, so. We'll see what happens with this. 1-1 so far, looking to be a very fast-paced, relatively even fight. Snap cut to the arm is not able to kill, and Luck goes for a stab, but Oak sidestepping it. Does get a clean hit. And a hit to the head there. And that's the thing with Sam. Some people say he doesn't trade very well. I actually think he does. You just gotta pick the correct moves, and you gotta aim at the right targets. That's a pretty big cut, actually, that he has there, and it does hit pretty hard. Nice hit by Luck, and then a stab. Isabella's stab is also a bit underrated. Yesterday I was able to make really good use of them in the Isabella mirror. And it really surprised people how easily that was landing. Against Zera, actually, I don't think it's very easy to make that work, but against Isabella, another Isabella, that stab bypasses the guard really nicely. And it looks like against Sam it can be a lethal weapon as well against his auto guard if you do it correctly. But this is still a pretty even fight. Luck again with the stab to the hand. That's a classic longsword trick. Out of nowhere, like it looks like you're gonna cut, but then you just go straight for a stab. You can even turn a cut into a stab in real longsword fighting. You can't quite do that in this game. Although the game does have some moves that do look like they could be a stab, but they're actually a cut, or vice versa. Especially Zera has stuff like that. Isabella has a few too. Oh, snap cut to the head. A little bit slow by Oak, but if Luck was a bit closer, I think that would have been a double, or even possibly Oak's flag. So it was a smart move, it's just Luck was really fast in his reaction with that punish. That is something that Luck is amazing at, is his ability to quickly react to stuff that you're doing. His reaction time is probably the highest on the server. And I don't think it's really a contest. And it's not like he's inexperienced, he also has that, like, years of experience that many of the veterans have by now, so that helps him as well. Punch by Oak, but punches do not win sword fights, cuts do. Luck takes it. I am assuming Oak wanted a cut, but he got too close. And so the punch was triggered. Where the cut would not have landed, because it would have probably hit with the hilt or something anyway. Okay, we are switching sides here. Very close match to start with here. See if that continues. Luck being quite creative, and it's invalidating Sam's really good auto guard a lot of the times. He's slipping stabs out of nowhere to the hand. I've talked about before, by the way, how Samuel's wrist looks broken even without dynamic muscles. There you go. You can see it if you pay attention. His wrist bends at times very, very awkwardly. Dynamic muscles makes it worse. In the regular state of the game, it's just visual though. The wrist looks strange, but his moves are normal. But in dynamic muscles, that wrist is already bent, and it just does really weird things. And Luck's taking a flag to start off. Nice exchange. Neither of them wants to overextend too much, and Oak's cut there was stopped a little bit by Luck's attack single tempo. And there's a hit by Luck. He's very good at those single tempos. Isabella, one of her best weapons, is essentially single tempo actions. There's a hit to the leg. And nice combination by Luck, surprising Oak with the timing. Luck is on fire with this Isabella, very fast too. He makes her look like a fast character. In reality, she's like average speed, I would say, not really particularly fast as far as movement speed, but some of her snap cuts are quite fast. But just overall, his reaction time with her and his ability to combo with her really fast, he makes Isabella look a lot faster than she is in reality. If you look at characters like Barabash or Yazik, they're much faster. Alexander even has some faster cuts. Retreat attack there to the hand. That looks like a pretty effective move because it goes straight to Isabella's hand even when she's passively auto-guarding. She can still block it in that case, but if she ever goes to do something, then the hand is at least a potential target. Sometimes the cross guard catches it though, I think. Stab attempt a little bit too close. Ironically, these long lunges are... Yes, they extend Samuel's range, but they give Isabella the opportunity to close the distance, and with her tight movements, she will shut down a lot of moves like that. And there we go, Luck with another very convincing win this round this time. It wasn't as convincing last time, it was pretty close, but this time Luck has figured something out. And Oak has his back against the wall as Luck is looking to finish it here. The thing with Isabella is she does a great job of fighting for the center. So if you try to play Isabella's game and fight for the center like that, you will lose pretty much every time. That's something that she does better than virtually every character. Alexander might be the exception, but... Oak wasn't robbed. What happened was Oak was too close when he did that lunge, and Luck dominated the center line with the longsword, so the thrust was instantly deflected. So Samuel commits to this big long lunge, and Luck is instantly able to respond. And it's from too close. He's not hitting with the point to begin with, so the lunge is essentially rendered pointless by the fact that Luck was already closing the distance and ready to snap cut the head too. That's something to pay attention to when you're lunging, is you have to watch the range that you're at. If you're too close, then you're not going to hit the point. And you can test it yourself in real life. If you try to lunge like that when you're so close to somebody, you're not going to generate the force that you're looking for. And often you won't even hit with the point. It's a very long-range attack that Sam has. Very high risk, high reward. Good sidestep, though, by Oak. He's starting to figure some things out. We'll pause. Hopefully they're both good to go. Yeah, it might have been a mistake. It happens. Good combination. Back Y by Oak. Nice hit by Oak. Back Y. Yeah, Oak is playing a much tighter game now, not trying to fight for the center so much, but trying to punish Luck's mistakes, and I think this adjustment is working well for him. It's going to be up to Luck to generate some offense, and amazingly, neither one was killed by that exchange. Oak getting stabbed in the chin, Oak landing a cut of his own, but they are both badly hurt. Luck's thrust was pretty quick, so that's probably why. And there we go. Luck's signature there, the snap cut after the thrust, is very fast. Now we're down to the wire. Luck still has the opportunity to just win this whole thing, but the pressure is on. You really don't want to give Oak wiggle room to make a comeback if you can avoid it. Cut into thrust there. Oak gets hit in the left arm. It's nice to by Isabella, she can really mix it up like that. Snap cut. White cut. Good exchange between these two again. But Oak a little bit on the back foot, I would say. There's a hit to the head, but the blade took a bit of the sting out of it, so not quite a kill. And Oak was able to get a cleaner hit. Thrust attempt into snap cut as Oak tries to punish the thrust. Very nice by Luck. A-cut beating the blade a bit. And Oak goes for a leg cut, but he's out of measure and the hand is a target, so Luck takes it. But nice try. That is actually a very powerful move. I don't blame Oak for trying it, but he was not able to get out of the way in time. So he takes it. Now we've got Captain Adler against Plebeian. Make sure I ping them. Alright. Both combatants are here. People are asking, how do you beat thrusts? You gotta use long guard, you gotta beat the thrusts, play a tight game, get blade contact with them, and read them as well. Read what your opponent's trying to do, and instantly sort of single tempo in response. That's how we've done it ever since 2021, 2022. There was a time when long guard wasn't even a thing, and that's how you did it. You had to like actively blade beat the thrust. So it was about reading your opponent, and even less about assuming a solid defense against the stab. Captain Adler on the left, Plebeian on the right. Let's go. Izera. Alright, back to the fight here. Some people complaining about stabs. Honestly, there was a time when long guard didn't even exist. And we still coped with stabs, so if anything, it's even easier now than it used to be, so. Well, okay, that's not technically true. Long guard did exist. It didn't exist as a countermeasure to stabs in particular. Now it does with the binding mechanics, but anyway. And yeah, closing the distance like people are saying too. You have to respect the fact that Rapier can kill you, but at the same time, you have to mix it up and just get in her face. It is on you to close the distance. If you're playing the ranged game against Marie, you're not gonna have a good time. That's not how you beat Marie.
No,
Nice. Sorry, just more discussion about how to beat Marie and all the rest of it. My voice is out. Is anybody else not hearing my voice? Weird. Anyway. Nice combination there by Plebeian. A little bit behind against Tarnowski. This is a really cool matchup, by the way. The two of them use a German fencing system. Meyer by Tarnowski, and Zera is quote-unquote 12% Lichtenauer. His style is based on Lichtenauer, but he's drunk, so he does a lot of crazy shit as well. And some Meyer style windmills as well, which also appear in other German systems. But Meyer especially, he has a lot of these like wide sort of swings. Less tight gameplay, but wow, nice comeback by Plebeian. It looked like Plebeian had his back against the wall, but after some active exchanges, he was able to get the better end and switch up his timing on Captain Adler. Yeah, everyone says voice is fine, so something on Michenix's end. Okay, Laszlo now by Captain Adler. I guess he's giving Laszlo a try. I don't know if this is advisable, but we'll see what he can do. Back wide to the hand though, a good start. Thrust attempt, and there you go. You can see the thrust was deflected really nicely by Plebeian. This is how you deal with stabs. And then he immediately capitalized on that. Good usage of the windmill cuts by Zera to keep range there too. Prevent Laszlo from closing in, and then there's a stab to the body. Bit of back Y action going for the hand, and a whiff by Plebeian is punished right away. That is the danger of Zera. If you whiff too much with him, if certain moves, you will run into trouble. And nice back Y. It's actually 3-3. I have to give Captain Adler some credit. I would give Zera the edge here, but he's putting in some work with Laszlo. YY combo can be useful. Its timing is really awkward, but Plebeian was ready for it. Very patient. But active, I have to say. Very active Zera. Love to see it from Plebeian. Thrust attempt to the hand. Not quite, and that's a double. Double. An extra thrust to the face. Plebeian able to get a little bit of an advantage, trying to snipe the hand there, but good distancing by Captain Adler. Upcut to the hand, that was brutal, and Captain Adler is tired. He almost had his hand popped off, it looked like. I'm actually surprised the game didn't let that happen. It was like it glitched a little bit, the blade got buried in his arm, but you can see it, that amount of damage was still unsustainable. He got completely tired, so. And there's a stab to the body. Plebeian needs one more, and it looks like he's adjusted to the splash blow, and so it's become very tough for Captain Adler. Nice. Y into another retreat. Y. Kingdom Come Deliverance is an awesome game. Some people discussing that. Both games too. Although the first one is quite incomplete compared to the second one, it was a smaller studio at the time, so it makes sense. I still recommend the game. It's just you have to be prepared for the fact that it might be a little bit unfinished. It's still a good game. If you like that type of game, you'll absolutely love it. And actually, as we speak, Captain Adler making a comeback. Now it's anybody's round. Some whiffs by both of them, trying to get the other to make a mistake. And there's a thrust there, the back wide, just a little bit mistimed, and it was instantly punished. And Plebeian is looking to finish it. Plebeian that poorly. I think he played it just fine. He's winning. Man, some banter in the chat there. Plebeian is gonna prove these people wrong though. Back Y to the hand. Some people saying Plebeian's rusty too. I don't know if he's gonna like to hear that. But he's gotta translate that anger to this fight. He'll do even better. Embrace the dark side. Nice windmill, actually getting around the guard too, which is actually what that false edge cut right after the first Y cut is meant to do. You come down, then you come down again essentially with the false edge at a much more awkward angle for your opponent to defend against. And it really flows nicely in real life. And actually, if Zera, if you do it right, it can flow pretty nicely with him too. Nice thrust to the head there. Single tempo though by Captain Adler, that was nice. Nice. Switches up his timing there out of nowhere if the two cuts there, Y into X. That's a double. Big swings by Plebeian, but they cover a lot of range. They take a lot of space away by Captain Adler. Then he ends up turtling up. a little bit. But that's to Zera's further advantage because Zera has the longer and more powerful weapons. Captain Adler is essentially forced to keep moving and he's forced on the defensive. Yeah, it's up to him to find some way to close in and make it messy. But in this case, he only gets a double. Nice. Cuts there by both. Feint. Back Y. And nice, doubling up the cuts again, throwing off his timing. Low guard by Plebeian. Obvious bait. Not quite taken, but nice hit to the head there as Plebeian tried to resume low guard. Thrust by Plebeian. Not able to hit, and he's getting tired now because he has previously taken some damage. Good movement there, but back Y. Eventually secures it though. Nice by Captain Adler. Big swing by Plebeian. Nice offensive there. Eventually gets it. Now we have Pico against Sir Radzig. Speaking of Kingdom Come. These two are fighting for the chance to fight me later in the event for the champion title. The champion belt is on the line, but we have to see who is worthy of challenging me. Pico said he'd be an hour to an hour and a half late. It's about an hour now. If Pico is not available right away, we can just skip to the next one, which will be Sava Grouse against Eternal Glory. Sir Radzig is here. Pekla might be another half an hour yet if he's not available, so we will just skip it if he's not here right away. No, you're fighting Insigni Turk. But you are towards the end, you're right. I switched up the fight card. Because some people didn't show up. Although you won't be second last, you'll be like third last. But yeah, you are late in the event. I don't see Pico. He'll probably be a while yet in that case. So we're gonna immediately move on. For now, we'll come back Sava Grouse against Eternal Glory. If Pico isn't able to show up, of course, Sir Radzig will just be able to challenge me. I'll let that happen since he's the only one with a 2-win streak in that case, so he's the closest to being eligible. Okay, Sava Grouse and Eternal Glory. I cannot ping Eternal Glory. Is he on the server? I saw him click the frog meme. I'll look for his name on that list directly. I should just be able to find his handle there, but I cannot ping him for some reason. That is really weird. Yeah, I see him here. What if I do it like this? His name's really weird. It's like impossible to ping him, I think, because he's got characters in his name. There we are. Okay, and if they're not here, we'll just again skip to Michinix against Clemino. And go from there. Who's Bob D. Huisbas? What? Who's that? Sava, okay. Cool. So Sava is here. We're just waiting for his opponent. Eternal Glory. For those who are skipping, of course, you will get a fight regardless. Radzig will just fight me if Pico isn't around for the whole event. Sava, on the other hand, will find you somebody in the worst case scenario. Maybe a newer player who lost a fight will get you a fight pretty quick, but I mean, Radzig could challenge you as well, I suppose, but I tried to put people together in matchups based on their skill level, so I think it would be a little bit lopsided if I did that. Because Radzig does have some experience now, so yeah, I'll try to find you somebody newer. It could be like Michinix again, or Clemino. Maybe whoever loses that fight will fight you, is how we'll do it. Or if somebody else wants to volunteer who's new. But yeah, I don't see Eternal Glory anywhere. Oh, do you want to fight Max? We can also do that. You're newer. That might be a little bit easier. Yeah, go ahead and join the same link. I'll post it again. Just join. So we got Sava somebody to fight right away, which is good. I'll push Eternal Glory to Apostles match, and if he's not around then he will be essentially disqualified, and we'll get Apostle somebody else to fight, of course, but put Max there against Sava. Yes, against Sava right now. We're actually doing pretty decent for time, I would say. This is more or less what we expect, 20 minutes per fight, roughly speaking. But still got some fights to go here. Oh yes, because Max and Info use the same Parsec account. Cool. You've got keyboard. Sava, if you need keyboard, let me know as well. I can give that to you. Let's do it. Sava, Grouse, left. Max, right. Controller? Cool. Yeah, you have controller. Oh, somebody went back. Take the left, Sava. Yep. Now Max, take the right. Beautiful. No surprise, it looks like Sava is gravitating towards Sava. See, Max goes with Samuel. That's an interesting matchup. Saber versus Saber. Well, Saber and Dagger versus Saber, really. But the Dagger is a little bit of a novelty, I find. Let's see if Sava Grouse can make that work, though. Would love to see some prison shanking for sure. First time I've seen him fight, by the way, so I'm really curious what he will do with Sava, how much experience he has. Sava is definitely considered by many to be a little bit lower tier, tough to use, but if you use him well, it's definitely quite possible to win with him. He does have some interesting tools, but he's a lot more technical, he's more of a zoner than the other Saber characters are, so we'll see. So far he's using a lot of the high guard attacks, but then out of nowhere he comes in with the prison shank. That was nice. Oh yeah, try not to hit shift and tab, Max, just I think Max might have had a little bit of a lag, but he's good now. Or perhaps he hit some buttons he didn't mean to, and it caused a weird pause for him, but a little bit of a trade. Nice, taking advantage of the fact that Sava was in high guard, and capitalizing on that. That quick dash and move. That is the risk you take by assuming a high guard. You can command a lot of space with the threat of your attack, so it can be a nice stance to hang out in a little bit, but you have to be wary of the fact that you're also wide open. You have to manage your distance. Nice chop to the hand there. Making great use of that high guard cut. A very different style with Sava than I'm used to seeing, but it's actually working very well. High guard cut there, and then to the leg. Buddy does take a cut to the arm for his trouble. That's the risk of a cut to the leg, is sometimes you're very exposed. Something I just thought of, by the way, is that Kubold's adding in all this new gore stuff. But there's a setting in the game where you can disable graphic content. Now I wonder if when Kubold fully releases this feature, or if it is the case right now, like, does that disable the gore with Tarnowski? Because Tarnowski is the character right now with the advanced gore system. I wonder if that gore is disabled if you have the graphic content off. I don't care about that, as I like, you know, gore and stuff like that. I'm not very squeamish. It adds to the game a little bit, but I am a little bit concerned because Kubold is known to make oversights like that. And I know, like, some people do play this game with the gore off with their kids and stuff like that. They've talked about it before on Steam. So I do wonder about that. Like, would a kid out of nowhere get exposed to an arm hanging on by a thread? It's a little bit heavy for a kid. I know some kids would be okay with it, but there are some kids who would also, especially little kids, right? They wouldn't be happy seeing stuff like that. Granted, you know, this game is listed as a, you know, a gory, realistic game, so it's like, that's the risk you assume when you get it and you're playing with kids, but it's definitely not marketed as family friendly, but I do wonder about that all the same. Anyway, back to the fight. Sava Grouse is doing a pretty nice job using Sava as a zoner, and there's a snipe to the arm there. And this is his debut in the USFC, and he's managed to win his first round. But it's not over yet. It is best of 5, so you do have to win 3 times. Accidentally caught a glimpse of Hellish Quart gameplay. Honestly, this game is generally pretty mild, I would say, though, compared to some other games when it comes to gore and graphic content, but you know, I wonder, like, is a kid ever gonna accidentally see an arm dangling like that and, you know, get a little bit traumatized by it? I don't know. Or at least a little bit sick, you know? But, because sometimes it's not so much that you're being traumatized, it's just that it's gross, right? And you're just like, ugh. Like, if you watch The Pit, there's a lot of moments like that. They show a lot of graphic stuff, and I'm not a squeamish person. I don't usually cringe at that stuff, but there's a lot of stuff there that you don't see exactly every day, so it is pretty gruesome, because it's an ER drama, right? So you get all sorts of gory injuries that are very realistically shown, actually. So even if you're not squeamish, you might cringe a bit at some of the stuff that you see in that show. But it is a really good show. Also, I have to give Sava Grouse credit for landing the shanking move like 2 times the last fight. That's not an easy move to land on an opponent who doesn't want you to land it on them. Because of the short range and the fact that you're kind of locked into it if it goes wrong, but big slash there, punish single tempo by Max. Yeah, let me know if you want to get in the commentary. I can easily let you in. That's totally fine by me. Ooh, Max a little bit flat-footed there. I'm assuming he's waiting for his opponent. Yeah, he's waiting for his opponent to make a move so that he can quickly punish with a snap cut. And there he goes to the head. I love people are making fun of London as well, specifically known for stabbings. Little knife. There were license for that. Nice by Max. Goes low to the leg. And Max needs 2 more to make it 1-1. Max does have some experience, although he is newer, so I think this is a reasonable matchup. He does have some experience in certain martial arts, so. Nice hit to the body. Goes low. Nice grab attempt by Max. Not able to get it though. And there's a hit to the hand. Will we see a comeback from Sava? Oh, you're trying to connect? Let me know. I'll I'll let you in after this round. I don't want to break up the rhythm, especially with like such a clutch moment here for Sava. But there we go. Max does take it. 1-1. I'll just invite you, Clemino, and you can join whenever. You should have the invite now. Cool.
Right. I'm trying to connect.
Okay. Can you just say something to make sure your audio is getting through?
Right. Checking. I'm trying to connect.
Yeah, I have you in the parsec now, and your voice is coming through, so that's good. If he's a little quiet or a little loud, let me know. But he is. Looks like the audio is working, so that's good. Okay, let's switch sides.
Someone, someone's saying that Max's style with the Yasik is really passive. I can attest to that. My man, you need to brush up your aggression.
Yeah, it can actually be a disadvantage too against a more experienced opponent. Somebody who's less experienced might fall for that easily, but there's a certain point where you gotta get initiative back. Big slash there, and the shank misses a little bit too far. That would have been cool though, a nice combination if it worked. Double.
Another variety matchup. First, Ternosky versus Vera, then Laszlo versus Vera. Now this.
Ooh, they both go for high guard, but Yendrik's high guard has more range than Sava's.
More utility too.
Yeah, and even the jump is pretty good, as we saw.
Kill.
Nice Quart there. Styling on his opponent a little bit here.
Another game kill.
Because that was completely unnecessary. He didn't have to go with the risky squat move, but it worked. Oh! Straight to the kneecap. That would hurt. Oh my god.
This is amazing.
I felt that one.
This right here is the top tier Yendrick gameplay.
Punch. Yeah.
These
Yendrick is
combo.
quite a wild card. If you let him walk all over you, he will. It's just that simple. He's very good at offense. Nice.
Oh, it actually landed.
That was good. Yeah, he landed that a few times this match, actually.
Yes, two Shane killed between two
Oh.
characters. Oh my god.
He got passive again, and there it is, the dagger thrust. Nicely done by Sava.
Shane kill ratio is now equal.
It's just in getting hit by an axe is painful, yep. Honestly, the thing with an axe too is you don't even have to hit the axe head necessarily. If you hit like the back end of it, the heel of the axe, it would still hurt. Like it could break a bone
Max's
or
keys
something.
aren't working at the time.
Oh yes, your voice is a bit low for me too. You might want to raise your volume a little bit. People are saying you're a little quiet. I can raise it on my end too, but I'm also hearing that. So.
Max's keys aren't working.
Yeah, I see that. Let's give him a moment to sort that out.
Oh.
Yeah, like people are hearing you, you're just a little bit quiet. Anyway. Oh, nice. Single
Good
tempo.
snipe there.
Yeah, Max getting a little bit. I wonder if that's why he's styling a little bit, is because his keys are not working. So he's like throwing weird stuff. I don't know.
Accidental style is an amazing brag.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, your opponent's not gonna know either, so I guess there's that. Ooh, blocked with the head of the axe there. You can do that. It's not easy to pull off consistently, but yeah, stops it dead. As it should. Goes low.
Good leg swipe.
Jump. Out of measure, but keeps going,
Come
yeah.
on.
Oh, drops the dagger. I love that animation.
That's good luck, don't worry about it.
Oh, to the face, yeah. Alright, 2-1 now for Max. Max needs one more. Sava Grouse has been doing pretty good, though. I gotta say, for somebody new who has, I don't know how much he's played the game before, but he seems really new to PvP, but he's still pulling off some really stylish stuff with Sava, so.
Try
Oh, so
going
he
for a low
is,
spot.
so he is trying to style on his opponent, yeah. But his keys aren't working half the time, so he's throwing it at weird times, I think, is what's happening.
I think he's trying to do the pierogi stunt.
Yeah. We're not done yet, Max, though. You still have at least one more game to play. At least. If Sava can pull off a win, it might well be two. There we go, sticking with Sava. And Max is considering Jan by the looks of it. Then he move to Tarnowski. Interesting.
Mr. T.
Yazuk now. He doesn't know what he wants to pick. There you go.
He wants to pick the man with the broad blade.
And he's poking at the air. I don't know if this is some kind of bait or if his keys are. Yeah, I think they're working, yeah. Or maybe he's testing out the moveset. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody was asking, how do you make Tarnowski work? He kind of demonstrated it there. I don't know if he meant to demonstrate it well, but you can cover a lot of space with these cuts and deny that space from your opponent. So they're kind of slow,
Nice.
but it's very hard to approach at the same time. A lot of high guard by Sava Grouse too. That's very different from most Sava players.
Usually you see them sniping instead.
It was working though. The dagger can't quite finish it with the dagger. Goes for a cut. Nice. That was very close though.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Almost
blocks with
hits
the
it,
point.
but- Yeah. That thrust is the tiniest, one of the tiniest thrusts in the game, only matched by Isabella.
Oh yeah, she does have a really tiny one. Ooh, double.
Honestly,
this one's pretty close.
if he wasn't going for a swing at the same time, that would have legitimately sniped him.
Yeah. Oh, he goes for left foot forward, opens himself up. See, with Tarna, you gotta combo. Like, you gotta do 3 cuts at once, 2 cuts at once. You can't just throw one like that and go to left foot forward and stand there and measure.
What is going on with still not working?
Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Info is having a similar problem, and I don't think we were able to sort that out yesterday. It's something to do with their setup. I don't know what. We'll give Max a second to try sorting that out. I mean, I can try resetting game pads, but I don't think that would fix it. I think it's on their end. Takes the
Oh, nice
handoff.
timing. You don't see that that retreat often.
Dagger thrust again there. A little bit out of measure, but I like the effort to make that dagger work.
Eco's here, by the way.
Nice, okay. We'll do that fight right after this one then.
Nice.
Big slash. Not a kill, actually. It was to the body. Ooh.
How? How?
It was to the hand. His hand got nailed by that thrust to the hilt, I guess. Oh, out of measure, but he actually does block with the dagger. Although he was out of range, but still, that was cool to see. Little known fact, you actually can block with the dagger. It's not reliable, I don't think, but it actually can be done.
If you do manage to actively block, the bonus speed up still applies to the saber.
Yeah. Double. Dagger thrust, more dagger thrust, but it's not enough. Nice try. Okay, Max takes it, but good effort by Sava Grouse for a first debut. Some stylish moves attempted, and some of them worked, so you gotta give him credit, especially for winning the first round, too. That was nice. And I hope to see you in future competitions. If you make that Sava work, it could be a menace for sure. Clemino's already here, but I think we'll still go back and we'll do Pico against Radzik because Pico has very specific time constraints. Also, I'll ask Pico if he needs to do the title fight right away, like if he were to win. Oh, you're free now. I'm just asking if you want to do it later or do it like right away after. Okay, whenever? Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Just wanted to double check because I knew that might be an issue. Cool. We'll save the title shot for last then, regardless of who wins. But this one is very important for those who are unaware. They both have a 2-win streak. They're fighting to get that 3-win streak so they can fight me later.
What will they pick?
Well, yes, I think they both need keyboard actually. There we go.
Keyboard and keyboard. Honestly, it actually worked very well.
Okay. We got a Marie mirror to start us off. Pico's probably going to switch off a Marie at some point, knowing him, but Be interesting. Ooh, double. Okay, I'm gonna step away for a little bit. I'll leave the commentary in your hands for a little bit. Fighters,
Yeah,
obviously, if I'm not back in time, just switch sides and keep fighting. It might be a little confusing if you Marie mirror, but it is what it is.
they are fighting for the center line. That is a beautiful, beautiful stab there. Both of these guys are relatively aggressive Marie players. Definitely not to the same level as Lark, but still pretty aggressive. Though if I remember correctly, Lark might actually be... No, wait. I think Info is the better non-mirror match player. Lark's the better mirror match player. I've never seen Radzig play this aggressively with Marie though. He's taking more initiative than Fico. Is this a taunt match? Right. Radzig finally getting a bit of damage in on Piccolo, but I'm pretty sure by the way Pico's hands are... Yep. First flag for Sir Radzig. A lot of downtime, honestly. Good thrust there. Out of range. Goes for a grapple. Ooh. Be careful. Radzig snatches victory from the jaws of defeat. But Piccola ultimately takes the round. Leipzig is now on the left, and you guys even switch? Yeah, I don't think they switched. I can still see the styles. Nice triangle there. Oh, they did switch. This is the consequence of playing Marie Mirror. Nice two-piece. So Radzig wins the bind there, but I don't know. He needs to make a lot of struggle for in order to catch up. Double.
Alright, I'm back. Looks like I missed one of the rounds.
3-5 Pico's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, so the names are reversed for those who aren't aware. I'm not going to switch them because I don't want to mess up the rhythm. Let's let this fight reach its conclusion.
Good combo on that.
Yeah, the names will be accurate pretty soon anyway if Pico manages to win, so. Ooh, out of measure.
Ooh, very nice.
Gotta love the COVID exams to the nose that sometimes happen in these rapier fights. Oh, I just spoke it almost into existence. I think it was like above the nostril, unfortunately, so not quite that, but
Well, let's see here. What is Sir Radzig going to do to get to match point?
double. Yeah, this is actually really close now. Nice comeback by Sir Ratzig. Feints by Pico. That's how you know it's Pico. He's doing tons of canceling. That's his style, but oh,
Ooh, nice.
a little bit too much of that. I admire the effort, but
Ooh. Pico wins out by a razor.
yeah, he squirting blood at the end there. That couldn't have been a good hit to take, but still got it.
2-0. Oh my god.
The mind games by both of them, but Pico settles on
Oh
Yendrick.
my god, again.
Feints there. Oh, nice! Wow.
What a void.
Yeah, I thought Radzig was gonna hit him to be honest, but Yendrik was able to block because his axe was in the right spot at the right time. And like you said, good movement by Pico as well probably kept him safe too. This is all distance management for Yendrik here.
Oh
You don't get
no.
that right, you're done. Fates there, out of measure though with that chop, and punished. Yeah.
Yeah.
Faints. I love it. How he's fainting with that so much. And then hits the face after. Nice.
Actually hits the feint.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to turtle up against Yendrik. You gotta, at some point, start asserting some dominance against him.
Or wait until Yendrik stops asserting his dominance by running out of stamina.
Yeah, that can also work. I wouldn't bet on it personally. A good Yendrik usually doesn't do that, but Pico is canceling so much, and each of those cancels spends a bit of stamina, so you gotta be careful. I'm not saying they should, but that is how it works. You do. There is a disadvantage to fainting that much sometimes.
Well, trying to conserve some space here. And double for it.
Through the collarbone for Pico, and then obviously it took a hit to the head. Oh! Not able to follow that up. Cancels again. Nice.
Good retreat.
Yeah, Radzig too passive, but I get why. It's because Pico is just going bananas and he doesn't want to get punished again. But that was a good. It's after I said he was passive too, which is what I love. He probably heard that and was like, I'm not passive, and just went for it, so that's good. It's what you need to do here. And Pico needs to keep doing what he's doing pretty much. Like, he's playing Yendrik perfectly. A stab, nice. That's a good idea. Stabs were crucial when I was using Calc against Yendrik yesterday. Nice.
Goes for the charge.
One more needed for Radzig. He's finally come back to life. Oh, but this time! Nice. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
A bit too much canceling by Pico.
That's 2-1.
Yes, Radzig could still make a comeback.
Again with the mind games.
Yeah. Watch them settle on the same characters again. After all this.
You never know, maybe they pull up with
Laszlo.
Laszlo. Against Marie?
No,
Against Isabella?
which I think is worse actually, but we'll see. I think Isabella is a hard counter to Laszlo, to be honest.
He's a hard counter to everyone.
It used to not be the case. Like, Laszlo, believe it or not, used to be a decent choice against Isabella, but now it's not the case at all. Oh! Wow.
That snap cut has become entirely something else after it got buffed.
Well, Pico is also good at canceling it. You saw it there, like, he's canceling the snap cut of all bloody things, so it's impossible to read the timing. He's so fast. To the arm.
It's the up and thrust!
Yeah, it actually worked. Although his hand is not his hand, his back was cut completely open, but I guess it was worth getting that deep target. Ooh, snap cut. Pico's playing a very simple Isabella, but with a lot of cancels. Like, the actual moves he's using are pretty simple. The way he's using them is a little bit different, though, because they cancels.
This is kind of yeah. Laszlo legitimately has with this little amount of damage. I don't think he has he has to fight it on equal terms. He legitimately is fighting an uphill battle here, especially against someone like Izzy.
Yeah. Well, I think Isabella just has great height. Like, she has good upcuts that cover her head. So if Laszlo tries to cut to the head, she can just single tempo him a lot of the time. And the reach is on
Right, that's
Isabella's side, the snap cuts, the damage, like you said.
and you can't really make use of the sidestep combos because Isabella has such a good guard.
Yeah. And you can see here, like, Isabella just wins the fight for the center every time. There's nothing... Well, I don't want to say there's nothing Radsid can do, but it looks like a really tough fight. He has to let Isabella whiff and make a mistake, but... What if your Isabella opponent won't do that and is unpredictable like Pico? That was good.
If this was pre-patch Laszlo, he definitely has a significantly better chance, especially if Izzy whiffs better.
Yeah, 100%. He used to be a counter to Isabella, but now, not at all. Oh! Snap cut to the arm, but Pico's tired. But he still gets it. Oh man, that would have been a double pre-nerf. But, it is what it is.
Laszlo, bro.
Yeah, there's a hit to the dome. I think a double was deserved, but that's Laszlo right now, so it is what it is. Alright, Micha Nix against Clemino. Let's see what Micha Nix can do. He's shown us that he actually can challenge the best. He did pretty well in the Olympics, although it was pretty unforgiving. In the end, though, he got some medals, so he did pretty good in Venator's events. And we were telling him too, like he got eliminated from a couple events right away, but so did I, so did Venator. Venator lost, believe it or not, he was in the Longsword Olympics, Venator was, and he lost Isabella in like the first round. Like in Isabella
Again?
Mirror, he just lost. So it happens to the best of us. I lost my Barabash too, pretty early on, so
Jeez.
yeah, it was brutal. I won with Calc of all people. In the mixed one, I won the gold there. And I won the gold with Isabella, which doesn't usually happen. I feel like I got a bit lucky that Venator was eliminated right away, to be honest, but you know, that's sometimes what happens.
I think everybody was lucky that Venator got eliminated immediately.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody probably breathed a sigh of relief. He is a menace. Clemino, you're on the left. And Mechanics, you're on the right. I think he needs keyboard.
I also need keyboard.
Alright, Mechanics, sorry, you're on the left, actually. I misspoke there, you're on the left. And you both have keyboard now, 1 second. Yeah, so Mechanics, you're on the left. Go ahead, yeah. Okay, Gideon. Gideon against
Mr. Tarnowski.
Yeah. No surprise, actually. Tarnowski is his main, so we'll see what happens here. Oh, that's the new gore. Did you see that? His face was cut in
Yeah,
half. Oh my god. This will be a gory fight if you land some good hits on him. That was amazing. Oh, and there's the hand. Yep, we've
ooh,
seen
that's his
that one.
bone.
Yeah, yeah. It does look a bit more detailed, though, I will say. There it is again. God, that was a clippable moment, though. The face being cut in half. He became Pac-Man.
I
Is
don't see
mechanics
shit.
okay?
What? You can't see anything.
Really? Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, should we play that back?
Abir, we're looking at the chat right now. He says they don't chat. We saw
Yeah,
like
so the
minutes
picture
ago,
doesn't
bro.
move. Okay, someone grab Turkish Marie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not every NA host, and a lot of European players do fine on any host. He's just not having the best of luck with it. Mechanics' internet is not the best, so that happens. Yeah. Yeah, you want to try Turk's host if it's bad enough?
Hopefully.
Yeah, Turk's host is pretty stable for North American players. We can do that. I'm gonna kick Mechanics from mine.
Right, we're playing those flags back.
If that's what he wants, yeah. 7 flags, yeah. Best of 5. Everybody's well, Plebeian was replying in caps when Turk said 7 flags. I don't think he meant to, but anyway. Yeah, names are
Yeah, we're
accurate.
setting it back.
Meekanix left, Clemino right. Both need keyboard. Still, I've never seen that particular gore before. The face being cut in half. Not even in the shorts. That's not. I feel like YouTube would have a problem with that. That's probably why. It was pretty nasty.
Probably.
It's kind of ballsy showing it even like what he has shown, to be honest. YouTube is sometimes very sensitive to that. Okay, that was a good hit. We're starting fresh, by the way. There it is again, his
Oh,
face. Oh my god, and the head too. I think the whole head was cut in half.
what the hell? Why
And
did he?
it might seem over the top, but listen, there's accounts that I've read about Saber combat where Saber's just like this, and that type of thing was happening. People's
Why
skulls
did
were
he?
being cut.
Why
Not
did it
always
have to be
completely in half,
Tarnowski?
but like your brain gets messed up. Like it's bad. The injuries people were suffering. Sometimes you survive too, actually. If it's not all the way through the brain, there's sometimes even survivable injuries, but you could be left like permanently damaged by it.
Why did it have to be Mr. Tarnowski suffering this fate?
Well, imagine poor Marie suffering when she gets the gore update. I don't know why Tarnowski was picked first though. I'd be very curious about that. Maybe he's a bigger target. I don't know.
Maybe he doesn't want to hurt Isabella yet.
Yeah. It's pretty awful too. Like there's accounts like people slowly lose their mind after brain damage and stuff. Like I just can't imagine
Yeah.
like surviving a hit like that for a bit and then you die later. That also happened. the talk and die patient where they feel like they're okay, but they've suffered like a brain hemorrhage or something.
Should be on max. Do
Yeah, I understand, Keon. Like, I'm
sensible?
not saying the gore was the thing he should focus on. We've had a whole conversation about that. I'm totally with you that there's probably other stuff he could have fixed instead. But Kubo literally saw Half Sword and was like, "Oh, we gotta add this now." So here we are. At least we made some progress with Marie and stuff. And now both are tired. Is it a double? It is a double. Yeah, we just gotta take what victories we can, is what I'm saying about Kubol's development. If we keep going in this, oh my, there's the head in
Ooh,
half. Oh no.
nice.
And that's happening consistently too with the powerful Y cut anyway, which makes sense. He's putting like his body into that one.
Lowest.
But mechanics got the first one. Honestly, if Kubol's with his reputation for bad optimization, I think my biggest concern was that with the gore
There you
update. But
go.
I'm not
Next
really
up,
seeing anything weird, so that's good.
rather than graphics for my style. I don't know, man. You have pretty good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean the graphics, I saw it. Everything looked clear, but yeah, it's definitely better now. I appreciate the change. We'll see the head being cut in half in better resolution, so
Oh, it's on the. He's wearing the hat skin. It's less. Yeah.
uh and the thing is too, with the gore, I don't think it always happens. Like it has to be a powerful hit. You know what I mean? Like you have to hit with a powerful cut with enough damage for the head to pop in half, which is realistic. Like not every hit's gonna do that, right? So that's good.
Yeah.
Like a hit can look like it's slight, but still end the fight and not look super remarkable. So
This is truly a duel between old men.
yes, stab attempt. Oh, another double. That was technically a body hit, I think, although it kind of looked like it splattered to the face.
That
Still
was
got
a
the
hit.
kill.
That was a hit to the face. Yeah.
Upcut. Oh, dangerous gameplay by both. A cut, and that's another double.
4 doubles in a row.
Yeah, so to the body, there's less of the craziness going on. Like people aren't being cut in half. That's probably good, especially through clothing. That'd be pretty tough to do. It has happened, but you'd need like a perfect cut against a stationary opponent pretty much for that to happen. So it's probably a good thing that's less detailed. You'd probably expect, cuts through the ribs maybe to the heart, but nothing as crazy. But limbs and heads and shoulders, like those will be cut through no problem. Necks, stuff like that. Okay, we haven't seen a graphic face injury in a bit, speaking of, but
I I am in Parsec. I'm playing.
what? Somebody saying you're not?
Yeah, Turkish Marine.
What? He accepted you though? No?
Yeah.
You knew that. It's all good. All right, focusing on the fight, a double. This
Mhm.
can be a double city, this matchup.
It pretty much is. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Did Eve and the Landsnight's fights look like this?
Yeah, it's a cool matchup to watch though. One of my favorites to.
Really is.
It
Lo
doesn't feel like
Lord
anybody's unbalanced.
Saturn.
It's just they carve each other up really well. Nice. Mika next needs one more though. He's pretty good Tarnovsky. He's thrown me off balance too. I've had to really lock in to beat it. Oh,
Your Turk, don't worry. Your money will be mine someday.
right. Mika next needs to switch sides again, and he needs one more win. Let me know if his back against the wall. He was thrown off by the fact there were two commentators. I see. Now I really want to see
Have you
more
changed the names?
Tarnovsky being cut in half, his face being cut in half anyway, but no pressure mechanics. If you want to switch, that's fine.
Wait, have you changed the names?
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a pretty quick typer, so can do it in a flash. Oh, nice exchange. Nobody got, well, now somebody got hit. But before that, nobody was hit. That was pretty impressive. Those are always my favorite moments in the game. If two people are evenly matched, sometimes you get moments like that where nobody's hit despite a lot happening. Ooh. Yeah, these shoulder hits are
get away,
not
bro.
giving the crowd what they want. You got to hit the face, buddy. Nah, I'm kidding. Obviously. Oh, yeah. Got over top there and I guess got a harder hit. Oh yeah, the 360. Yeah. That you've seen that, right? Let me know where he got pushed and then somehow
Yes.
yeah, oh my God. And Racer was like, "What?" As you should be. That was weird as hell. Imagine if his face was cut in half and that happened. And I think that's theoretically possible because I don't think the gore prevents doubles. I think it's just visual. Because I was experimenting a little bit with it and it didn't disable the limb.
It didn't?
Yeah, like you can still flick the blade and try and go for a double, and it can happen. It's very hard to test, but I was testing it, and if you do it at just the right
It's,
time, you can still get a double, just like usual.
jank is on. Jank is still present, but hopefully Ikubold will fix it after everything else is
Yeah,
managed.
yeah, you gotta focus though. There's the hand. Clemino cannot give away another flag. He cut. They're trying to single tempo, which that's basically the name of the game here. Ooh, nice back and forth between these two. Ooh, I thought Clemino was gonna take a hit there, but that was good defense on his part. Yeah, he's Mechanics is turtling up a bit, and there's another one for Clemino. He has to lock in just like this. Cannot afford to take a single hit, especially in this type of a matchup. Your HP has not so much help against someone like Tarnovsky. Trying to snipe the hand, sensible. Both of them are. There's an upcut. I thought he was gonna get hit there, but just a little bit too offline, I think. And doubles it up, and there's the head in half. Blood is everywhere. Clemino takes his first round. I, wow, I'm never gonna grow tired of that. That's amazing.
Never gonna grow tired of Tarnowski Gideon matchups too.
Yeah, that's also very fun to watch. And I love how the blood just squirts everywhere too. It's just a mess as it should be. The squirting might be a little bit cartoonish. I can't say I have experience cutting skulls in half, although it is messy if you look at skull analogs and pigs being cut in half. It's definitely blood does go everywhere. But cannot say I have experience using a dewsack on a live person, so I have I cannot verify that. No game volume, what? Oh, that's I know why. I know why. I took the sound off on Parsec because I was hearing myself on Venator's stream. I have
Yeah,
I
same.
cannot verify that. And now I'm
I'm
hearing
hearing the
myself
PS4.
again. Oh, that's I know why. I know why. I took the
dear.
sound off on Parsec. Okay, I'm gonna. Sorry, the sound has to go off. I'm hearing myself. Something that Turk has to fix, I think. Alright, that's horrendous. I'm not.
You literally have the stream right here, Turk.
Yeah, it could just be that he has the stream on, but.
Ooh.
Yeah, Beer can use your host as well if the time comes. Well, it's a big event to Beer. There's nothing much I can do about that. USFC often does drag on a little bit. That's just how it is.
Hey, 22 players, man.
Yeah, there's. Whoa, nice exchange, by the way, between these two. Let's try to focus a little bit on the fight. Oh, there's a hit to
Nice.
the hand. Yeah. Mechanics is doing great with the exchange game. That is one of his strengths as a player, I would say. He respects your turn, so to speak, but he also
Yeah,
knows
very
when
good.
to double up like that. That was good.
Very fluid Tarnowski gameplay. Are we seeing the next iteration of Lanznex?
I think we might well. Oh, and he almost got the hand again. And I gambled, but it paid off. Yeah, that was a good effort there. Bunch of cuts, covering a lot of distance with that back B cut, which I don't see very often, but it seems very effective. Good doubling up the cuts by Clemino, though, so he is able to secure a hit of his own. Oh, did he taunt there? I don't think he meant to, but I think he
Yeah, I don't
taunted.
think he meant the fun.
Might have meant to grab. That would make a little bit more sense, although that would have also been risky. Big wide swing there, but that covers a lot of ground. Nice usage of that A cut and then following up by Clemino. He's suddenly locking in. Long guard there. Big splash. They're just on the edge of danger, both of them. But Clemino with a clean hit. And now it's looking quite possible if he keeps playing like that. Mika Nix. And it's a double.
Ooh,
Oh, and yeah, just a little
nice.
bit out of measure and punished. Nice try though. That was good.
Geez, that was a match for the month. God damn, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
That was
certainly of the night. That
absolutely
was
beautiful.
great. Yeah. You both put on an excellent show. Beer and Castar, it just so happens, are scheduled next, by the way, Turk, so we can just do that one. It's fine. Then we got Platypie against Maestro Cake after that. I thought that would be a nice matchup. Maestro Cake hasn't been in the USFC for quite a while, but he is one of the old veterans, an American player. So, really excited to see that. Platypie from the same hometown as me, by the way, so they're both North American. But Platypie's from Alberta, Canada over here. So that's why I try to put Platypie against other North American players if I can, unless there's some interesting player, that is equally matched with him that he hasn't fought in a while, then I might do that, but it's nice to put him up against other North American players that he hasn't had a chance to fight much. So Maestro Cake is the best pick in my opinion. Castar will take the left. And a beer take the right. Okay, and I'll just boot up the game now. We have both of them here. Clemino also joined the Parsec. I moved from Turk just so we can test mine. As a beer wanted to test mine. Oh, Clemino's leaving? Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. Okay, Castar left, the beer right. Bada bash, bada bada bash. Against Castar can't move apparently. We can reset it, click the window. There you go. Sometimes that's all you gotta do. And then it's fixed, so. Let me know how it goes, by the way, guys. Do not be afraid to pause if you are having some kind of problem. Just try not to overdo it. Alright, it looks like he's good to go. A beer, that is. Castar usually does fine on my host. But Turk is available. Audentis Fortuna Yavat, Turk says. If you play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 especially, you will know that reference. But it is also a pretty famous saying, it has to be said. Fortune favors the bold, that's what most people hear it as. Parsec hearing from Discord, yeah, it could be. There's a setting that Turk has to go in and change. But yeah. We can sort that out later, that's not that big of a deal. But I don't think you guys wanted to hear my voice on repeat. I certainly didn't, so we're gonna, if I use as host, I'll turn the sound off. Nice hit by Castar. Actually quite competitive with Saba, actually, and I just mean in general. He's actually made Saba work pretty well. So if people are wondering how to make Saba work, Castar's gameplay might be a good example. Ooh, a little messy there. I thought it was going to be a double, to be honest, but a beer got it. Barbash does tend to do better, to be fair, in that type of range when they're sort of brawling like that. Bar is a little bit quicker. Saba wants to utilize his reach. I do tend to favor Bara, though, in this matchup in general. It's kind of funny, Saba has the dagger, you'd think he'd be so good up close, but in reality, Barabash has more utility there for the most part, in my opinion. He's more responsive, he has more reliable moves, and good stab, though, by Castar. Not able to get the kill in the leg void. That was actually a good leg void, but Beer kept the pressure up, it looks like, and it didn't end up benefiting him in the long term because of that. But it did its job in that it avoided the first attack to the leg. But a Beer with a pretty quick and convincing victory. Oh, somebody press it back. All good. Almost no stutter. Okay, good. Let's continue then. Oh, okay. Castar is having some internet problems. I guess we can try Turk and see if that works a little bit better. Oh yes, leave my parsec. If you're gonna join that, by the way, it will not let you join another parsec if you do that. It'd be really weird if it did. You can also join your own parsec, by the way, but it's really strange. Does not work, obviously, but you can do it and try and force it. It looks kind of funny. Then you gotta jump through some hoops to get out of there. Turk, accept my connection, please. Or you might just be in the commentator chat or something. That could also be it. Like if you're sitting in commentators and it's picking up my audio. Oh, YouTube stream, yeah. Yeah, 'cause I'm not even in the parsec right now, so that's probably what it was. Cool, we sorted that out. You gotta accept my connection though. Yeah, you can still leave it muted and it'll be fine. I appreciate the support for the algorithm though. That's always helpful. YouTube values consistency. I've noticed that as long as it's a Hellish Quart stream and people are showing up and liking it and commenting and stuff in the chat, I tend to get roughly the same number of views no matter what, so that's nice. Hundreds of views per stream, which for my channel is fine. That's nothing wrong with that at all for such a niche game, so. And I know random people are finding them too, so that's nice. Although I will say the recent USFC 170 was just shy of 100 for some reason. Not exactly sure why, but it isn't that big of a deal. Alright, I'll turn the sound back on since we resolved that for Parsec. A beer has experimented with Samuel a little bit lately, so I'm actually not super surprised to see that. Set my chat to all messages too, just in case YouTube censors somebody's message or something. Which it sometimes does for no reason. Looks like I wasn't missing anybody anyway, but. Big slash by a beer. A beer just seems to have it figured out lately. Both for Samuel and Barabash. I dare say he's doing even better with Samuel, which is pretty remarkable. I guess the extra reach is really helping him out with keeping Sava at bay. Sava otherwise has a pretty decisive reach advantage, so. That combined with Samuel's reliable guard. Nice hand snipe though. High guard to long guard, goes for a low thrust and they trade. A little bit of a mistake I would say from Abir, but at least it didn't cost him the flag just yet. Although he is low on stamina now and his arm is broken, his left arm just broke there, which was kind of funny. But he does recover from that miraculously and scores a flag. That looked painful though. Doing a feint. Big splash, and then a cut to the head. Nicely done by Abir. Took a slight hit for his trouble, but the hit to the head was much cleaner. So it made sense that he won it. Oh, he's got unlocked the Zera skin, it looks like. That's all good. says unlock that in single player mode. Is that how you're gonna be able to unlock that in the future? I wonder. Or is that just saying you gotta go to the versus menu and get it there like the other skins? I wonder. We know there's a Zera story coming up at some point, so that could be a little tease about that. I'm not sure. But right now, to my knowledge, you can just go to the versus menu and get it there. It's pretty simple. If you've got ducats to spare, it's not that expensive. Yeah, Zera against Barabash, it's definitely winnable for Zera. Zera does have some tools he can use to mess Barabash up. But he will have to be wary of Barabash's mobility. That's really the big... danger he'll run into. Yeah, I'm assuming Zera's story will be like his origin story. Or something, but I'm not sure. It could also be a continuation of Yazuk's story from his perspective. But if it is his origin story, I think that'd be the most interesting to me. Nice sidestep by a beer, hitting the hand directly, and Zera really hates those hand shots, in my experience. If you can target the hand as Barabash and keep that hand under pressure, Zera can run into some trouble, and there he got close enough such that the stab just wasn't enough to kill, so... And he also hit the head, so Zera was in trouble. And a beer takes it pretty decisively there. Congratulations. Now we have Platypi against Maestro, so for that we will switch back to my host since they're both North American. Platypi will take the left side, Maestro will take the right. I know Abir was saying we're taking too long, but honestly, for the amount of people we have, we're doing just fine for time. This is pretty normal for USFC. If it's a big event, this is what happens, so I'm pretty happy with how it's going. And we're nearing the end, especially if some people don't show up, which usually happens. There's usually like one or two people who just don't show up. I just showed you the bracket on the stream if you want to look. I can also post the fight card again. But we are just above the middle now. So we're on Maestro and Platypi, so we're like over halfway done. There you go. If you want to look at it there as well. I'll boot the game up while we wait for Maestro. Hopefully Maestro shows up. Speaking of people not showing up randomly. Maestro, I'm not... Usually he doesn't do that, but it is still not impossible. Yeah, if Barabash gets in Zera's face and he doesn't do much about that, it can be rough, as Plebeian said. That's my experience. You want to get close, you want to aim for the hand, you want to sidestep, and not necessarily dashing to the side even, although that's also a good idea. You can also just walk to the side, and Zera can have trouble if he's not adapting to your repositioning. You don't have to dash to the side necessarily, although that makes it even harder for Zera. And then Zera has to himself, I find, dash to match your footwork. And in short bursts, actually, Zera doesn't do too bad when it comes to speed. It's just that after he does that burst of speed, he slows down at some point, and that's where he runs into a lot of trouble. He's a lot like a bear. He moves faster than you think he has any business moving in short bursts, but long term, he will lose the stamina sort of the stamina contest with other characters. Just like a bear would lose the stamina contest with a wolf, but they're still surprisingly fast. They can, like, I still think a wolf would outrun a bear no problem, but I've seen videos, they get pretty close to catching them. So they're not slow. But the stamina that a wolf has in the wild is pretty remarkable. They're actually one of the few animals, dogs and wolves in general, that are built for running. They actually do better than humans when it comes to stamina, which is pretty impressive because stamina is like our thing. That's what we put points into, if you will, if you think about it like an RPG. That's why groups like the Inuit people and some other Plains indigenous tribes, before they had horses, they used dogs as beasts of burden to move sleds around and stuff like that in the winter. Which might seem weird, but in absence of horses, dogs are actually pretty damn good at what they do, and they can outdo humans when it comes to distance travel. Not many animals do, but dogs are the one, well, not one, there's a couple other exceptions, but dogs are one of the few. And I mean dogs that are bred a specific way. Obviously, if you breed dogs for different things, they won't outdo humans with stamina. But if we're talking dogs that are built like a wolf or something like that, or a husky or a malamute, those types of things, like they're really good at stamina. Camels are another one. They actually can outdo humans, especially in the elements. They do a much better job with stamina. And horses as well. Again, depends on the horse, but a horse that's built for like maximum stamina will do better than a human when it comes to long distance travel. And that's why it's no coincidence we use those three animals because they're better when it comes to distance travel than people are alone. But you're right if you're talking about lions and stuff like that. Like obviously we outdo lions. I mean, when it comes to stamina, most animals we can catch up to over time if we chase them down. But camels, horses, and wolves, those three animals are the exceptions. I do not see Maestro. I guess we can see if Apostle is still around. We can do that. Because I haven't heard anything from Eternal Glory. I'm assuming Eternal Glory is not going to show up. So Apostle will be waiting a while. So Apostle, I'll offer you a fight with Platypi right now if you want to take it. Nice. Yeah, just join the Parsec then. I don't know if you see the link, but kind of got a bit buried, but here it is. You're not wrong though, Piet. Like for the most part, on the topic of running animals down, like humans are gonna outdo buffalo, they're gonna outdo deer, any of those types of animals. It's just the three ones that we rely the most on for transportation that outdo us. The ability to sweat is pretty important, but still, dogs have a really impressive cardiovascular system, so that's how they're able to constantly shadow buffalo herds, actually wolves in particular. Doesn't matter where the buffalo run, they will be followed everywhere for pretty much forever. And it's the stragglers that get caught usually in the buffalo herd. Because obviously, if a herd of buffalo were to charge a pack of wolves, the pack of wolves are gonna lose that engagement. But they circle around and look for the weak ones, and then they take them. Or the ones that get isolated, even if they're not necessarily weak, they're isolated, and thus the pack can work together and take them out. It does depend on the dog, though. Like, I suspect a greyhound, like, yes, they run really fast, and they can catch a lot of stuff, but they're sort of specialized when it comes to speed, so they might run out of gas a little bit faster than something like a husky, but I don't know enough about dog breeds to comment that specifically on them. But I suspect it's like with Cheetos, they've put a little bit more of their emphasis on speed, and so they lose out a little bit on stamina. Yeah, but zebras aren't horses. They're kind of related, but they're not the same thing. They're equine, that's about it though. Their cardiovascular systems and their strengths are not quite the same. But yeah, a zebra you can absolutely outwalk and eventually catch up to it. Or indeed run if you're in shape. Over time you'll catch up. And I think terrain is a big part of it too, of course. Like, if you're running across snow, like, a dog is gonna do way, way better than a person. Doesn't matter what your cardiovascular system is, you don't have the wide paws to essentially float on the snow almost. You're sort of running on top of it. That's the other piece of it as well. That's worth keeping in mind. Humans are not very effective at traveling through deep snow without assistance of some kind. Whether that's snowshoes or beasts of burden. Anyway, back to the fight, because this one is really close. It's actually a good way to burn calories, by the way. You want to just trudge through a bunch of snow for a while, you'll sweat up a storm. Probably not so good in the cold if you're out in the middle of nowhere, but if you want to burn some calories really efficiently, that is a way to do it. It'll be hell, though. Platypi is about to win this fight, potentially, but it's really close. Has to, there you go, arm snipe. And he takes it 1-0, but a very close fight. Impressive performance with Hassan, who is often considered now the weakest character, but I applaud Apostle for giving it a go. I love to see what Hassan can do, and I like his design too. It's just, I think he's very exposed. And he doesn't have very much except for attack linking. But even his attack linking feels really awkward compared to some other characters. Wow, hand popped off instantly. We might see some more gore from Tarnovsky, by the way, so brace for that. That won't happen if Apostle keeps hitting him single tempo, but... To the face. Was not cut in half, though, but... Still a lethal hit. It doesn't have to be graphic to be a kill. Or a fight ender, at the very least. but we do love to see some graphic kills. That said, it's not as graphic as Half Sword though. It's kind of funny, like Koopold was kind of hyping it up as it was like Half Sword. And don't get me wrong, like the head being cut in half was kind of shocking. I was like, whoa, that's awesome, right? But Half Sword is a different level of gore, I would say, still. Even some injuries that don't look super graphic in Half Sword on the surface level can still make you bleed like a stuck pig.
No, attack me slower.
And wow, Apostle in the blink of an eye. It feels like I was just getting a little bit sidetracked, and then boom, a quick win. Actually, while we're here at the character screen, let me update the fight card just so it's ready for when one of them wins. So Apostle's fighting Platypi now. Cool. I'll give Eternal Glory a ping towards the end of the event. If he isn't around then, we'll just move on to the title fight. We're not quite there yet, but when we get there, that's what I'll do. Brim, you still got your fight, by the way. I know you were offering as well, but... It's also really willpower. Yeah, dogs also are pretty stubborn. That's a good point. They have limits, of course, but... Yeah, they can be pretty... overzealous sometimes. I know from experience as well, with certain dog breeds. There's also small dog syndrome too. Sometimes small dogs are actually the ones that are the most aggressive in some ways. They'll bark at bigger dogs and they'll be like, I'm big and tough, come fight me, but not such a good idea. And usually big dogs ignore them. They're just like, what the hell are you doing? But it's funny how that happens. Oh yes, we might see more gore of Tarnowski. I should pay attention. Especially a high guard chop to the face. That might be lovely. Oh, he tries it. Nope. Gets blocked by the basket. Or the strong of the blade, one of those two. Snap cut to the wrist there. And it's a double. Yeah, the win here is probably going to be super important. B cut there. Okay, Platypi is still ahead by quite a bit. Nice. Short person issue in general. Yeah, there's a thing. It's like you're overcompensating. It reminds me of that quote from Game of Thrones. Said to Joffrey, like, if you have to tell everybody you're the king, you're not the king, or something like that. And it was because he was yelling at people desperately, like, I'm the king, I can do what I want, or something like that. But, like, your power should just speak for itself. If you're having to compensate for it somehow, you're not in a stable position as a king. And that goes for a lot of things in life, too. Nice. Snap cut there by Apostle. Basic Y cut, actually. He has a lot of wrist moulinets and snap cuts that you can pull off just by pressing an input. So that's really nice for Yazuk. A cut there by Platypi. Not able to get the kill. They both trade this time. Trying to hit the hand, but not quite able to, but the stamina there for Apostle proving a problem after taking a hit like that and having his guard battered made his stamina worse. There's a punch to the face though, that was nice by Apostle. Yeah, Sava was talking about that you can teach small dogs a lot of the same things. Yeah, I think it's that small dogs get away with a lot more though. Because if a small dog is chewing you or something and is just, you know, not respecting your personal space, it's a lot easier to deal with than if a big dog is doing that. If a big dog is being overly aggressive or chewing your hand, like, you want to put a stop to that right away. But a lot of owners of small dogs, they don't discipline them the same amount because they can get away with a lot more. So that's also part of it, I imagine, with the small dog syndrome, as they call it. Where small dogs are just overly aggressive and in your face all the time and barking. That was a nice win there for Apostle, and we're actually even. We're at 2-2. Ooh, back to Isabella against Barabash too. This is a fun matchup. Good exchange. Hit to the hand though. Pretty decisive start here for Platypi. Although it is a fun matchup, it's definitely one Barabash can win. I will say Isabella probably, if I were to give somebody the advantage, it probably would be Isabella. Isabella just fights for the center, like I was saying earlier, super well. Barabash has to fight from the flanks and to put in a little bit more effort to get his kills. Isabella can sort of just shut him down by contrast. And has a better guard in general, more stable than Barabash. Barabash's guard is fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not as good as Isabella's. Upcut there, hit to the hand. That's a good target to aim for as well. The side of the face, the hand. It's really where you want to target with Isabella. And if Isabella overextends, you can get a pretty clean hit in. Why? Not able to get a kill, but there was a slight hand hit. There's another hand hit with the snap cut. That was nice. Another important tool for Barabash to try and compete with Isabella's snap cut. She has one of her own. Two of them, actually, that are really good. But I think there's one, the left foot forward one. That's the one that people prefer. In my experience, it's often the better one, too. Although Platypi uses the right foot forward variation really nicely to the hand. Ooh, a little overzealous there. Apostle doubled up with the cuts, and Platypi was able to punish. And the upcut finishes it. But a very close fight between these two. Very good effort by Apostle. Okay, Basilar against Brim. Let's see if they're here. I know I saw Brim earlier. Don't know about Basilar. And Insigny, after this fight, you'll be fighting Turk, if all goes well. I know you've been waiting for a fair bit. I know you intended to sign up. Maybe I didn't see you when you signed up, or you didn't sign up in time. I don't know what happened, but you are on the fight card, so we'll get to you. And if somebody doesn't show up, maybe you'll get a chance to fight them. But Turk is here, so I don't anticipate issues with that. Good question, Basilar. You're on the left side. Also, I don't know if I provided a link. Yeah, but the same link always works, so that's all good. Yeah, so if your opponent doesn't show up, I'll probably either get Turk or Insigny to fight you. And then whoever's still missing a fight, we'll sort that out. I know there's still people hanging around in the chat, so if somebody who lost a fight, like Sava perhaps wants another fight, we can get you another fight. Or maybe Clemmy know if he's around, those people. Yeah, so we'll see if you got a spot open for a second fight. Because at this point, Brim is not, or Brim is here, but I thought, but he's not responding. Basilar is. Oh, he has to go eat. Okay, cool. I just saw that, so all is good. Let's see if Turk and Insignia are here. So I'll kick you out for now, but we'll do your fight later. Right after this one, hopefully. Insignia's not showing up as online. I think Turk is around, though. Oh, there he is. Cool. So Insignia's here, just waiting for Turk. If you guys actually want to use Turk's host, we can also do that. Let me know if mine is stuttery for either of you, and we can do that as well. Oh yeah, so I'll enter Pico in as the one who will fight me for the title shot. Nice, Turk is here. Okay, Insigny on the left, Turk on the right. Yeah, so Brim is eating Basilar. That's why we're delaying the fight for a bit. But it's fine. We'll get this one out of the way. Yeah, you both have keyboard. Mari. Cool, we'll get to your fight, Brim, right away after this one. And I'm guessing the other guy is not around. If he's around, though, I'll give somebody a second fight with him. I'll give him a ping, and if he doesn't respond, we'll go straight to the title fight. So I don't want to make promises about the second fight, Sava. I know you were interested in that, but if the opportunity arises for that, I'll let you know, and you can just join. Why? Nice. Gotta make it messy if you want to win. But you also gotta respect the rapier a little bit, go for chops, the thrust like that. Turk knows how to make Marie work here. With the buff, she is pretty strong. We have seen Marie win this matchup before. Hopefully that was just a lag spike and Sydney wasn't looking at the stats or Turk, the moves I mean. But that would be kind of funny. Too much lag? Whoa, what? Somebody alt-tabbed me out of the game too. Okay, what was the score, or do you want to redo it? It was 1-1. Okay. Up to you if you want to redo it. The score was equal. But 2-1 was it? Okay. Cool. Keep same score? For Insignia? Yeah, okay. Got it. So Insignia is ahead by a little bit at the moment. Nice double there. Oh, somebody picked the Zera map. The church. Whatever, we'll roll with it. If they're fine with that, but... Oh, I see what happened. So somebody tried to click the void map, but clicked random. I see. I was like, how do you accidentally hit the church? That's how. You hit the random. And you can see the terrible lighting on this map in all its glory of this random spotlight following the fencers. Or it's not really following them, it's just this constant light on their faces that completely ruins the immersion. It used to be really good in this map, the lighting, but Kubel changed something with the spotlights and stuff. Good hit there. Insignia did have 2, by the way, but Turk is currently ahead. Yeah, the music is, really helps with the map too. I usually disable it for PvP like events and stuff, but it is a nice track that comes with this map. Yeah, it is strange to see Marie doing well after so long. I'm all for it, but different from what we're used to. There is still a way to make Marie to beat Marie pretty easily, but you have to know how to do it. It's definitely a bit of a knowledge check. And a lot of players aren't quite succeeding at it, but that's understandable. They're used to just walking forward and beating her blade all over the place and then killing her. But there's a way to fight Marie that is quite different from that. It's still aggressive. What? Somebody hit the main menu. Okay, it was 6-2. 6-2. We'll do the void map, by the way, but 6-2 for Turk. Oh wait, you had one. Yeah, that's my bad. No, I wasn't keeping track. Hang on. Switching the names. Go ahead. Yeah, that's all good. Let's switch sides. Oh yeah, speaking of pausing, I remember in Venator's event, the HEMA event, people were pausing randomly in the middle of the matches. That was kind of annoying. And I know why. It wasn't because they were trying to cause problems, but it was because they were pausing after, like, they were scoring flags and stuff like that. Because people are used to pressing the start button to speed up the reset to the next flag. But in HEMA, that was so annoying because it was like we would have to spend an extra second or two or more on each reset. It kind of defeated the purpose of playing HEMA, so definitely something worth keeping in mind if you want to host a HEMA event. You got to make a rule about not pausing randomly like that after each flag. It didn't happen all the time, but you know, some people were not used to it and they were hitting it on impulse. Yeah, I would not recommend the trick shot here at all. It's not a good move for starters. That's the first problem with it. Second, what you're doing with the trick shot is you're giving up the center and opening your hand to an attack. Yes, it curves around the blade, which can sometimes be helpful in this game, but that particular move is not gonna do much for you. You're not gonna beat the blade, you're not gonna displace it, and it's basically just a waste of time, the trick shot. Yeah, that's pretty harsh, but I get it. Yeah, we would definitely need to implement something like that. Because it's hard to tell, because some people could have been abusing it, right? Who knows? But it would be a very easy thing to do. And we don't really have a punishment system in place to deal with that if it's excessive, so. And to be fair, that might seem harsh, but if you go to like fighting game competitive events, I'm pretty sure they do ban people for pausing, like, even if it's accidental. Like, you're not allowed to just pause like that. And obviously that's in part because there's no reason to, there's no lag problems or anything like that, right? So, but, what? You give up? Well, okay. You gotta long guard more often. You're swinging really wildly, I think, and you're being punished for that. You gotta long guard, bind with the rapier, fight for the center, as Turk is saying. It's definitely doable. I don't see a reason to give up. Get close, too. And I don't know why people aren't using the chop. Like, literally just long guard Y, and you have a move. Don't do the forward. Well, the forward Y is okay, too, but I'm thinking specifically neutral long guard Y. Like that's one of Barbash's bread and butter moves. You gotta use that more. I don't know. I mean, if you want to give up, I can't stop you, but I think it's kind of silly. All right. I think he's giving up. Has he left already? He has. All right, Turk gets the win then. That's a little unfortunate, but what can you do? Basilar against Brim now. Turk takes the win by forfeit, by resignation. It really isn't that big of a deal, though. I don't really understand, but what do I know? Basilar and Brim. Brim should be here now. You might be needed for this one, Turk. I'm not sure. I think they're both European, but or at least Basilar is. Brim is from North America. All right, we'll try my host then, since that'll be like a. But if Basilar runs into some major trouble, I don't think he will, but usually it doesn't much matter. But if he does, we can switch and try that out. Turk is usually pretty good, even for North American players. Let's give mine a try first, since we got one player from North America. Host not found. I think I just need to. There we go. I'll do it for my parsec since we're friends. I'm joining Turk, by the way. We're gonna use Turk's parsec. It looks like. Okay, Basilar on the left, Brim on the right. go. First flag for Jan. Brim going with Yazid here. This could be a pretty interesting matchup. Okay, so far, dominant performance for Jan. Sorry, people just chatting in the Discord. Stab to the body, resulting in a double actually. Brim is able to hit the head and turn. Taunt there. Is Brim having some trouble? He's not moving, that's not a good sign. Yeah, this is what I was concerned about. See, Brim's North American, so now he's getting delay on the European host. Like, Bachelor, let's try my host, because you didn't even try it yet. You just said the ping was high, which is normal. That's not... I don't know. There might be bandwidth stuff you can toy with. I would increase it a little bit. Like, you're probably at 10 or something, right? Or 5? I would increase it by... Oh, you're at 20. Interesting. You could still try increasing it by 5, I think. That might help. Do 25, see if that changes anything. You don't want to increase it too much, of course. That leads to its own issues, but I don't know. Let's see if that helps. Devoting a bit more megabits per person. How is that? Is that a little bit better? Like, flick the long guard if you're good to go. Doesn't look like it is. Feels the same, yeah. Might want to switch it back then, Turk. It's not really helping. Switch it back to 20. Your host is fine for me, by the way, and I'm from North America as well, so I'm not sure if it's his end or if something between you is causing a hiccup. I don't know. You could try mine, yeah. It might help. Do you want to keep the same score or do you want to reset? Yeah, because even if the ping's high, as long as it's stable, that's really what matters. So give it a try. Even if it's 200, it should still... Let's see if we can, if my host is a better middle ground. Oh, Bachelor's from Asia, actually. Okay. That explains actually a fair bit. So, like, yeah, that's a pretty long distance. It can work, but your internet has to essentially be really good. That explains a lot. So theoretically, I don't know, would Turks be better? I'm actually not sure. Mine actually might be better, ironically. I might actually be closer depending on where in Asia we're talking about. Despite the fact I'm like far as hell out west, that actually might put me closer than some European places. It depends on where in Asia, though. Again, if you're in like West Asia, then it's not the case at all. All right, well, let's try it. Same sides. We'll just pick it up where we left off. Since I'm not seeing any requests to... Oh, he went to Barabash. Let's not... Make sure you select the Azuk. At least for this round. You can switch it up, obviously, later. Okay, and what was the score? It was like 5. 4, not 5. Alright, Basilar is 4. Yep. Let me know how it feels, by the way, if it's better, worse, or... The main thing is if it's playable for both at this point. There's a hit for Basilar. Basilar currently at 5-0, needs 2 more. Since they're cool with picking it up. There we go, 6-0. Trade there. Nice. Space is out the cut there, and that's his first flag. Nice trade. And there it is. Basilar wins it. Now we're gonna switch sides. Just gonna switch the names. Went with Barabash this time. Pretty balanced matchup. I tend to give Jan the edge just because of his reach and versatility, but Barabash can also win if he gets up close. Pause. Let's just see what's going on. It freezes. That's tough. It feels like no matter which host we pick, somebody's gonna have problems, so... It's okay now? Yeah, we'll just let the freeze pass, and then we'll continue. Sometimes it doesn't last forever, it just lasts for a little bit, so... The joys of Parsec. Unfortunately, that's just part of the package. In a perfect world, we'd have, like, native multiplayer, but... Due to technological issues, it's not a thing. And also probably Kupol's expertise, too. That doesn't help. He doesn't have... His thing is animation, essentially. Like, he's very, very good at mocapping stuff and animation, and it shows in the game. And coding, not so much. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's produced an impressive project with his skills. but you can tell that he's hard-coded a lot of stuff. Not that I'm an expert on that, just that other people who are more knowledgeable have pointed that out. And especially when it comes to netcode, like, and Kubel himself will admit this, he's not knowledgeable at all when it comes to that, so that's the other hurdle we'd have to overcome. Even if we assume that it's possible and practical for a one-man team, he's also not. He doesn't have that expertise, so. And that's his words, by the way, not mine. I'm not saying that to hate on Kubel or anything like that. You can read about it over on Steam and on his website. But and Kubel doesn't want to invest money into it either. He's also said that, so there's also the fact that he basically doesn't care about it as well, I would say. So he doesn't want to host the servers, he doesn't, like, even if he figures it out, he doesn't want to go through that whole thing, so. But yeah, in a perfect world though, we would have it, and we wouldn't have to deal with lag. Yeah, it is frustrating at times, but thankfully, if the connection is stable though, typically you can just play normally and it's not a problem. But when there's a hiccup, it is pretty annoying. Anyway, back to the fight. Brim's actually doing a bit better now. Able to close the distance, get some flags off of Basilar this time. I guess what we could do is we could rotate hosts as well, like, you know, they've played a few on mine, they play some on Turk, although it is more time consuming, but I'd rather not do that if we don't have to, but that will be our nuclear option, I suppose, if it's unplayable. But so far, it looks like Basilar is able to play, so that's good. Just some freezes here and there, which sometimes does happen, unfortunately, but it looks like for the most part, he's good to go. Goes low there, but there's the headshot. That's the danger of opening with a leg cut or a series of leg cuts, that your head is exposed. Okay, we're gonna switch names in a second there. Brim got a pretty decisive win. Sava and Isabella now. Sorry, somebody keeps messaging me on Discord. Might have to mute that conversation. Getting a little bit excessive. I wish Discord had more options than just that, with the like regular chats and stuff. Because somebody can just message you over and over, and if you're not on like do not disturb mode or something, it'll just constantly bombard you with notifications if your Discord is open. Goes low with that stab, not able to connect. Some back and forth movement, trying to feel each other out a little bit. This Belly's guard holds there, a nice counter. Yeah, and that low thrust doesn't hit particularly hard, and it's a little bit slow, so Isabella was able to come in and punish that. What's going on? Nice, alright. Basilar's good to go. Is Brim having some problems? I don't know what's up with Brim. Alright, you guys don't need to keep pausing. I know there's a problem. Yeah, Sir Basilar is still good. As far as I can tell, anyway. Yeah, he's long guarding. But Brim is not saying anything. That's why I'm wondering what's happening. He's still here, in the parsec anyway. I don't know if he's actually at his computer, but... yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna give him a ping. That's really weird. Like, his internet doesn't seem to have crashed. I guess he's away from his computer for some reason. At least for me, it doesn't seem like it crashed. Did it not update and he's gone now? No. And his ping looks good, so that's... It could have crashed and it's not updating, I guess, yeah, but... Or something happened for sure. You're back. Probably just went AFK really quickly or something. Alright, well let's see if he's able to move. It's all good if something IRL came in the way, I understand, but... do try to communicate that if you can. Oh, okay, that's annoying as hell, yeah. No worries. Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty hard to type that out that what's happening when somebody's just being an annoying little shit. Yeah, I get it. Somebody screaming at you or whatever. Alright. We were just wondering what was happening is all. Good cut to the leg, although he did take a hit. As a result of going low, he did manage to take the sting out of most of that cut, it looks like. With the blade contact. Still, that would hurt your fingers, like, they would not be having a good time. Big splash hitting the floor there. I always get a kick out of that. Fainting there. Nice hit. And more or less feeling each other out. And a nice upcut. Brim's starting to come back. It's a double. Big splash, but it's parried there. Nicely done. Comes up and hits the hand. Big slash. Thrust to the body. No kill. Isabella's getting tired now. She also is having her guard hit a bunch. And then there's the bit of damage, so that last little bit of stamina possibly was what Basilar had to work with to get that kill. Hit to the head. Another hit to the head there, this time by Brim. Brim needs one more. Not a whole lot to commentate here. There's more or less just a feel out phase, and then one of them goes for a headshot. And if it lands, it lands. There's a back Y. They're both still newer, so they're probably getting a feel for the game and whatnot, getting warmed up. So it's all good. Also, some people are more defensive than others. That's just is how it is. Nothing wrong with that. Brim takes it. Very close, though. And Brim needs one more to secure the win. Basilar cannot afford to lose another match, another round. Nice cut to the head there. Brim with the first flag. His Barabash has proven quite advantageous in this matchup, actually. He seems to be doing a bit better, at least in the previous round they did this matchup. He was doing a bit better at getting close, hitting the head. Bit of an exchange. A little more action this time. Basilar with a nice counter. His yawn is pretty good, by the way, as well. He was doing really well with that. Especially against the Yazek. Goes low there, that results in a trade. Tries to come back up for the head, but not quite able to land it. And it's a double. Oh, bit of a lag spike probably. Just let it pass there. Yeah, that happens sometimes. It's all good. Both trying to bait each other a little bit. And that's a double. They both cut at the same time. Nice upcut to the hand. Okay, at this point, Brim is a little bit ahead. There's one more. Basilar tries to follow that up. Messy flag, as it sometimes happens though. And Brim takes it. GG guys. Sorry about the technical issues, by the way. I know that's really, really annoying to work through. But I hope it was playable for the most part for both of you. And I don't think Eternal Glory is here. Yeah, it's probably something on your end because most people are doing fine on my connection. I don't know what it is, but yeah. You're also from Asia, so like, you know, it's pretty far away. Pico, you still around? Let's get this over with. I don't see the other guy. Eternal Glory, he has not shown up, so I'll just get rid of him completely on the fight card. I'm gonna take the left side as champion. I get to decide which side I'm gonna fight on. And I guess I'll take care of the announcement since nobody's here. Unless Turk wants to hop in and do it, but he doesn't have to. Sure, alright, let's get Turk in here. I've held it for 2 weeks so far. We're just waiting for Turk Pico, as you can see. Shouldn't take long. I'll invite him to speak too. Yeah, should be able to join. And if you want to take care of commentary as well, feel free. It would be pretty silent otherwise. I don't typically talk that much during my fights. Did you get my invitation to speak? I think you have to accept it. There you go. All right, hello? We're not hearing you if you're trying to speak.
Oh, I'm still waiting for the game feed to come through.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it looks like you're coming through in the stream as well, so that's good. All right.
Perfect. All right, hello everybody. I'll be commentating for today. Subi will be fighting against Pico. Subi on the left and Pico on the right.
Yep. And I'll make sure Pico has keyboard as well. And names are set. We're good to go.
Happy days. All right, let's see. Oh, yes, nice. Pico with Marie and Subi with Barrow. Even though I am meant to be unbiased, come on, Pico, you got this. Bring back Marie. If both players can hold long guard into the middle, so we can do an announcement. So for 2 weeks straight, our reigning champion, Subutai, the Barabash King, is currently facing his new challenger, which is Picola. Pico on the right with Marie. Let's keep this nice, clean, and simple. Good luck to both players. Retreat to your corners, and good luck. It should be a interesting matchup. There you go. A nice little down next from Pico to secure that win. That was a very, very risky fight. Stevie was very good closing in. Down forward, wildwood. Oh, you rarely see that move. Very effective against long guards. Nice side set from Pico. Unfortunately, Pico tried to lunge in, but see, we got the blade beat straight to the face. See, it's now starting to get his rhythm going. 2-2. Very close game. A nice little snap cut from Subutai, leading the fight with one flag. Big over couple taunts, so with Barabas. Nice exchanges, big swipes, continuing that beatdown. Nice blade beat triangle, quick snap. Another triangle from Pico. Sidestep, but unfortunately the sidestep wasn't enough, and Barabbas was able to get the hit on the head. Another triangle from Marie, but unfortunately the recovery was too long, which allowed Barabbas to get the big swipe to the head. Very quick game, one flag separating Barabbas from a first set victory. Marie still needs two. Nice little exchange from both and a double. I would have expected to see a bit more doubles considering this matchup, but Barabbas is taking complete control, holding that long guard, waiting for an opening. Nice little trade from both. And Marie gets the headshot. Oh, that was almost nice little cancel from Marie. Tried to get us down next, but unfortunately Barabbas was just too quick with that forward wire. Now we have both players switching positions. Pico on the left and Subutai on the right. Oh wait, that was too quick for me to even register. Subutai as scout, and now we've got Pico as barrel. Very interesting matchup.
I'm Barabash.
Oh, nice exchange. Oh shit, okay, my bad, sorry. Okay, yeah. Nice big side step and caught the hand with that big swipe down. Couple blade feet over there, nice exchanges, nice punch, unfortunately no follow up. Nice little trick moves there for you lot to enjoy. Big swipes from both and they both get a double. Oh, nice little trick there. Trying to put on a show for us to enjoy. Kind of out of energy, repeats the same move twice. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is because I play Marie. Nice little side step from Barabas. Couchdown fighting for the middle. Nice for us. Unfortunately, big exchanges. No punishment, no. And now Barabas finds his opening. A lot of blade beats, big swipes following through. The speed that Barabas brings with his saber is just too much for Couchdown. He's got to find the correct moments. Lots of big swipes from Couch, unfortunately, we're not unable to hit his target. Barabas able to claim the flag again. Barabas has got a nice little lead, one flag, stopping him away from his second set. People definitely need to find some sort of rhythm, some sort of anything to fight against Subu's barrel. Nice exchanges, big swipe to the chest, or was that the neck? Nice exchange from both. Playing defensive both. Big swiping. Again, that same move from the last flag. Turning to be quite effective against Barabas. Unfortunately, that thrust recovery wasn't quick enough, and Barabas was able to complete that set. 2-0 to Subutai, going into the final set. Pico definitely needs to do something in order to bring this back. In order to stand a fighting chance, definitely going to need to bring a set and put some more pressure onto Subutai mentally. Let's see where they go. Got Pico on the left, Pico on the right. Marie versus Barabas. This is going to be a tough game. Barabas holding that on guard, waiting for an opening from Marie. Marie being patient. Barabas trying to close the middle, big side swipe, both trades. Unfortunately, Barabas does get the first flag. We believe in Marie. Big side step. Unfortunately, the retreating Quart wasn't able to get enough distance between her and Barabas, so Barabas does get the flag. Big swipes, heavy contest into the middle, blade beat away and gets the third flag. Barabas on the roll here. Blade beat from Marie. Big exchanges, retreat and back cut. That was a nice little flag for Marie. 3-1 to Barabas. Side steps, unfortunately the recovery wasn't quick enough. Quick lunge and a snap cut from Barabas. 4-1. Nice cancels, good side step from Marie. Unfortunately didn't land and Barra got his slice off. Barabas 2 flags away from completing this. Nice victory for him, 1 flag away from making it a 3-0 victory. Very impressive to see, considering Pico is one of the best Marie players there as well, so it isn't no defeat. Nice little thrust from Marie, straight into the belly. Unfortunately, Marie tries to go for the feet, which left her face widely open, and Barabas was just able to punish. GG to both players. Subutai with a insanely
good
easy
game.
win, 3-0. GG.
Yeah. And to those who are wondering how to counter Marie, I hope that also, showed people like what you can do. Like I was using the chop, I was being aggressive, but not in a way where Pico could just punish my whiffs. Like every attack had a purpose, right? I'm not just throwing it because I want to get in her face. It's because I want to displace the blade. I want to counter a thrust, sidestep, hit the arm. Like there's a specific goal in mind. It's not. I'm not saying it's easy though. If you're not used to it, it's definitely tough. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful. And good games to Pico. The Calc exchange, that was pretty fun too. He was getting some nice exchanges with Calc. And good use of that snap cut. Calc is pretty strong, I would dare say. But yeah, Barbash against Marie, pretty tough match, I would say, for Marie still. If Barbash has played well. But that's it for the USFC. That's that guy's name? I keep forgetting. Whatever. He's not here. He doesn't even respond into my pings, so we'll end it there. GG's to everybody, and I'll see you next time.